folks, welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a gift request, and it's coming from the UK. I'm not quite sure where in the UK. It could be England, Scotland, Ireland. Could be, one of the coastal islands. Could be Wales. Could be Jersey. But anyhow, I'm wearing my hat. Tom from the UK. Now that's all I've got is the name Tom. So we're going to go with that one. Tom, thank you for this gift. He made a gift. And I don't know if it was in sterling, in quid, in all that. And I'm still learning those, the terminologies and such, but pounds and all that. But Tom made a gift to the channel for me to do this one. And if you'd like to know how to make a gift to the channel, the information's in the description box below. PayPal or Venmo, $25 US for those overseas, but $25, and I get it up within a day. Very rarely 2 days, but it's up very quickly. Even within 2 days is a fairly quick turnaround, but sometimes I even get them up that very day, depending on timing. But I'm doing a new artist to the channel, Kameron Marlowe, Never Really Know. And I think, Tom, I have a note here, you may have requested the video version, but the video is Vivo, and Vivo gets blocked. So I'm going to do audio only, and just see what I could decipher of and from the lyrics. All right, so here we go. Kameron Marlowe. Pretty beginning.
Miss Carol was a homeroom teacher. Stare at John and Becky making out in the bleachers and say, oh, to be young again.
Carol's my sister's name.
In love again. She goes home and drowns herself in whiskey. Stares into the mirror asking, where did my pretty go? Seems like it was yesterday. Didn't have a wrinkle on my face. Fake a smile and to tell you lies. Hide all the pain coming from those eyes. They never really know what's going on inside. No.
One thing you know, and I say this too, and this is my approach in my life coaching or my situation coaching, is everybody's dealing with something on the inside for the simple fact that we know we're going to die one day. And that's always noodling around up there. And life changes and people don't always handle change well. But if you become mindful of what you have, the strengths that you've got, they change throughout your life. When you're younger, you've got physical beauty. That's an asset you have. You got used to that. But then the sun, the rain, the breakups begin to take its toll. Your skin starts to lose its elasticity and all that, and it changes, but your strengths change. You become more experientially oriented. You could draw upon your experiences. So it's not just skin deep any longer, but there's an absolute beauty. And you may not find yourself to be beautiful because you look in the mirror and the flower of your age, as it said, is fading, but other things are dawning and you got to go with that. And the other thing is have a sense of humor about life, because this is it's a theater of the absurd is what this life is. It's a shit show. It's a clown show, but there's a lot of fun to be had. And anyway, yep, I could see I'm going to get to going on this one, Tom.
The sky's sunny, but the world is blue. Until you walk a mile in their shoes, you never really know what someone's going through. You never really know what someone's going through.
Just did a song. Guy Clark's song was this theme. Hank Williams said it best, that song.
And time it takes a minute pills out the bottle. Sometimes he prays he won't wake up tomorrow and says, oh, eviction notice on the door.
That's harsh.
Wondering what he's even living for. Yeah. Shows up early to his mama's for dinner. All she can say is, son, you're looking thinner. He says, oh, I'm working out again, even though he knows he's crumbling.
This has got me thinking.
Miss Carol made a match with the bottle. Tough way to go for a small town model. They say, oh, we thought she was doing fine when they haven't spoke a word since '99. Tommy wound up one headstone over. Families gather round, heavy weight on the shoulder, and say, oh, we could have done more for them. Now guilt starts creeping in.
They hit it.
Fake a smile and
I'm gonna say, well, I don't know where he's going with this. Oh, fake a smile and they tell you lies. All right, but what I'm gonna say is that if you're hiding it from other people, then those people aren't to be blamed for not seeing it, right? It's because there's a fine line between stepping over and getting into somebody else's business, even a family member. You don't get into all of people's business. There's always things that are private, and you have to respect that. And some people's chasm of privateness, if that's even the word, is much larger than others. Like, I'm fairly open about stuff. My buddy Tosh is very open about stuff. His whole family is that way. My younger sister is that way. My older sister, not so much. Like, you could be in the same family and you've got different ways that you approach life. But if people are hiding it, if I'm hiding something for you, it's not your fault for not knowing it. People are very good at hiding stuff. But I want to see where the rest of this goes. I wonder if he's going to turn this at this point and say what I'm saying, or if he's just going to continue with how do others not see what's wrong with you. It's well, if you hide it, it's hidden.
tell you lies. Hide all the pain coming from those eyes. You never really know what's going on inside.
And that depicts what I will dub a neutral dynamic in life. And some neutral dynamics people like to assign blame to or even get sad about. And this isn't even a dynamic to be sad about. People hide things in order to, a lot of things are hidden and they never come to light and they were never an issue. A lot of things are in that category, and people will hide certain things for a while because they're waiting for the solution, and then they never have to talk about it. Solution doesn't always come. Now, why Carol decided to overdo it, was it with alcohol? Yeah, Tommy was pills, I think, and Carol was booze, and they wound up in the plot next to each other in the cemetery in the song, and it wasn't other people's fault. You know, you're not going to stage an intervention every 3 days to probe somebody's life. Now, you may stage an intervention if it's so painfully obvious that somebody is having issues. But when it comes down to it, that is part of the dynamic of life, where a lot of the details of our lives we don't talk about, we don't publish, we don't publicize, we don't share. Either some of them are boring and others are just, I'll work it out myself and then nobody has to deal with it. And in a sense, you could say that's altruistic, not revealing all my shit to other people, because I don't want to burden them. They've got enough problems of their own, as people like to say, and people do. What I like about this song, though, is the generic or the meta view, the overarching view that other people are dealing with stuff. You may not know the details, but they are dealing with stuff. I would venture to say that 30% of the people, if you were to ask them a question, not just like in passing on the street, instead of saying, how you doing? But you say like, where's your pain? But if somebody was trusted enough to where you said like, what is the deepest source of pain in your life right now? And you actually had a discussion about that, 30% of those conversations, somebody would wind up tears coming down their face. Now, it reminds me of Smokey Robinson's song, Tears of a Clown. And, you know, somebody smiling at the world, making them all happy. But on the inside, they're ruined, they're wrecked, they're in pain. And we're wired for pain avoidance. And in part, that's why we don't reveal all the stuff that we're doing that's going on with us, because we don't want to burden others, and we don't want to just keep reliving that via conversation. It's like, now I'll deal with it in my own private way, whatever I'm dealing with. If I'm heartbroken over a breakup, okay. If a parent was abusive or whatever, or you failed out of college decades ago, I don't know, pick your thing, whatever. You tried playing guitar and you got really good at it, but nobody wanted to sign you to a deal. Everybody's got something. We've got hopes, expectations, preferences, and there are times when those aren't met. And we don't want to come across as whiny or anything like that, like, oh, I didn't get my way with this. But if it holds value within yourself, high value, you'll privately deal with that pain. And it might eat you up to where you turn to other things to avoid the pain you're experiencing. Overdoing it with alcohol, overdoing it with pills or whatever. Yeah, you know, in this song, we know what that led to. So, Tom, I'll rate this song. His voice reminded me of somebody's too, and Blake kept coming to mind, but it wasn't Blake. At some point, I'll think of it. It wasn't a Billy Currington or an Easton Corbin or someone like that, and it wasn't John Moreland. Man, I'll think of it. But anyway, the number, I mean, I like the picking in this too. I like the tempo of the song. I did like his voice. I like the content of it. The number that popped into my mind was an 8.9. So Jeff Cather's going to have to get on his high horse. Good luck getting across the pond, Jeff, and finding me in Zimbabwe, UK. So there you go. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Just kind of be kind to people and be aware that they're dealing with stuff too. No matter what their life looks like, they're dealing with stuff. All right, have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.